Hi guys, this is a video of the guidelines to performance task 1, which I have requested you to repeat. All right, first you have to download a video of a parabola. All right, since that is the conic section that most of you, well in fact that all of you uploaded in the first performance task. Now you can use the pictures that you have uploaded before, or you can use a different picture this time. So first you attend to that. Download a video of a parabola uh, that you'll encounter in nature, in arts, in architecture. All right, so that's the first step. And then the second step is you open GeoGebra Classic. So all you have to do is type in the address bar, you type in GeoGebra. Let me see. There. GeoGebra.org, geogebra.org/classic. So that should open the GeoGebra Classic app. All right, I'm doing it now. So you're familiar with this already. You've seen this before. This is not the first time that you're seeing it. So this is the GeoGebra Classic app. On the left side, you have the algebra view, and on the right side, you have the graphics view or the geometry view. All right, so now the next thing that you have to do is you upload the picture that you downloaded of the parabola. So you click this icon. It says A equals 2. Click that, and then there's a drop-down menu here. This is where you upload the image. It says, the instruction says, select image to upload. So you click this, and then you'll be asked to choose a file. I have already done it earlier, so I have a file that's ready for uploading. All right, this one, parabola. All right, so that's going to upload. Click OK. All right. It's quite small, the picture that I was able to download, but you can adjust the size. All right. How do you adjust the size? You see these two dots at the bottom. These are the placeholders labeled A and B. So you can move them to wherever on the Cartesian plane. However, this is what I would suggest. You place A and B on the x-axis. All right. So we'll only use the positive part of the graph. All right. Let's move this. I'm going to move this to 4, and the other end I'll move to -4. So that will automatically adjust the size of the picture. All right. Okay, it looks fine now. It's up to you how large or how small you'd like it to be. But I think this is a reasonable size. Mine is -4 up to 4. Now, aside from that, you'll have to try to make the parabola. You position the parabola in such a way that the vertex will coincide with the vertex will fall on the y-axis. And therefore, the y-axis becomes your axis of symmetry. Now, this is not exact. If you want, you can adjust it. For example, I can adjust it a bit like that so that it's more centered there. Although I lose symmetry that way. It depends on the picture that you got. All right. It depends on the picture that you downloaded. Now, this one, I think, coincides with the vertex already. But as you can see, the picture itself is not symmetric. with respect to the y-axis. But that's fine. It doesn't have to be that way anyway. If you want, you can crop the picture so that it's exactly symmetric. All right, now I don't want this picture to be moving around. See, if you don't fix it, it's gonna move around. See, like that. So that it doesn't move around, you'll have to change its properties, and this is where you can change it. You click on the picture, select the picture, and then you click. You see this icon here. This is the style bar. All right. If you click the style bar, all right, you'll see several icons here. The one that controls the properties of the picture is the settings. This is the gear. So this is the settings. Click this. Now you'll find tabs on top. Now on the basic tab, you'll see show object is already checked. If you uncheck this, the picture will disappear. But since you want it to appear, you click show object. Uh, Auxiliary object, this is not necessary for now, but just leave it checked. Now what I want you to do is to put this picture in the background. All right, so you click background image. So that will make the grid lines appear on top of the picture. All right, since we're trying to draw a parabola on top of the picture, I think it's better to make the picture a background image so that the parabola will appear on top. And then, so that the picture doesn't move about, you can click, you check fix object. Now the picture is fixed. All right, you can close the style bar there. So this picture won't move anymore. If it moves, it moves with the plane, with the Cartesian plane. So the picture itself doesn't move by itself. Now, if you will look at the dots are still movable. All right, the dots are still movable. Now to fix these dots, you do the same thing. You click the style bar and then you click on gear, and then you click on settings. The gear here is the settings. Click on that. It says, all right, it's already there. Under basic, you can fix object. Earlier we fixed the picture. Now we'll fix point A. And then we do the same for point B. We want point B to be fixed also so it doesn't move about. So we'll fix that. And then we close the style bar. Now you'll notice you can no longer move A. You can no longer move B. You cannot move the picture either. All right, all of them will move together. All right, so the picture is set. Now we're going to construct a parabola. That's what the performance task is all about. You're supposed to construct a parabola and fit it onto the picture. Now, how do you do that? All right, here at this is the algebra view. If you click input, you'll see a small keyboard appear here at the bottom, at lower left, and there's a keyboard. All right, you click on this so that you can type in the equation. So here's where the important parts of the equation would be found. So we'll have to type the equation of the standard form of the parabola, which is y equals ax squared plus by plus c. All right, we won't replace a, b, and c with numbers. We'll keep them as variables. So that's y equals, and then you can get a from here. I don't know if a on the keyboard would work. Let me try it first, see if it works. I got that from my laptop keyboard. If it doesn't work, this is what will work. The one that's marked ABC. Let's try that first, see if it works. But X, definitely you'll have to get it from here because it's a variable. All right, and then square. And then you click the plus symbol. And then I'll use my keyboard for B. And then X again, plus C. All right, I use my keyboard for A, B, and C. I'm not sure if it will work, but if it works, then you can use your keyboard as well. Otherwise, you'll have to access those letters here from A, B, C. All right, if I click enter, then a parabola should appear. Let me do that. There, it worked. All right, so the keyboard letters will appear. For the parameters A, B, and C, you can use your own keyboard. It doesn't have to come from this keyboard here. All right, now there are two things that you'll notice. Let me close the keyboard first, here at the right. All right, you'll notice an equation of a parabola appeared. All right, a graph rather, a graph, as well as an equation. You can see here, this is an equation of a parabola with fixed parameters. All right, the value of A is 1, the value of B is 1, the value of C is 1. All right, so all of these are captured by this parabola. Now we'll have to, all right, the first thing that I'd like to do, these are called sliders. They control the parameters, all right? A controls the coefficient of x squared, B controls the coefficient of x, and C controls the constant. See, if you move this from end to end, it will go all the way to -5 and then all the way to +5. Now you will have to observe what happens to the parabola, because I'll ask you in the Google form, I'll ask you to explain, all right, your observations. So you'll have to be able to explain what happens when you change A, what happens when you change B, what happens when you change C. You should be able to explain all of those. By the way, the slider can be automated. You just click this. See, it will move by itself. And then you can observe what happens. All right. So you'll have to observe what happens. Let's stop that. All right, what happens when you change A? You should be able to answer that question. It will be part of the Google form. The question will be asked in the Google form. So I'm going to ask you what A does, what B does, and what C does. So you observe the graph as well as the equation here. See the equation now, the equation of this parabola, which you will see on the screen, will be negative 2.4 x squared plus 1x plus 1. That is the equation of this parabola. So the only thing that changed here is the value of A, because I only moved the A slider, this one. So if you look here, only the first value will change. And then you have to observe also what happens to the graph. Pay particular attention to the endpoints, -5 and 5, and then 0. All right, see what happens when you set this equal to 0. Let's try it. There. So that's how your graph would look like. By the way, it might be necessary to adjust the range of the sliders. So I think a convenient range would be -10 up to +10. So I'm going to change the sliders here. All right, I'm going to select each one. When it's highlighted here, that means it's active, which means you can change the properties of this slider. All right, let's click the style bar. This is the style bar here. Click on settings. That's the gear here. All right. Now we want to, so here under basic, it shows you certain stuff. Don't change anything anymore here. All right. We'll keep the name as A, so just keep it as A. And then for the definition, we'll specify the range. You click slider here. That's the next tab. Click slider. Now here it gives you the minimum. Right now it's at -5 and the maximum is at +5. Let's change it to -10 up to +10. All right, that will give us more leeway on adjusting the parabola. All right, just change those, the range of the values. All right, so it's done for slider A. It's now from -10 up to +10. Now let's do the same for slider B. All right, let's change the minimum to -10 and let's change the maximum to +10. All right, let's do the same to slider C. -10 up to +10. All right, so we've changed all the values of the sliders, the range of values of the sliders. We can close this now. All right. So remember, that's the style bar. If you want to change any of the properties of the whatever's here, that's what you have to click. All right, the equation of my parabola as of now, as you can see in the graph, is 5x squared plus 1x plus 1. All right. Um, Now, the next thing that I'd like you to do, and which will be part of your task, is to explain what happens when you move these sliders. All right, from -10 up to +10. Paying particular attention, as I've said, to the endpoints and to the zero value here. What happens when it's equal to 0, and then what happens after that, and then what happens before that. All right. So observe what happens to the parabola. Do the same for B. What happens when you go to -10? And then what happens when you when you set B equal to 0? Uh, here, wait, there, B is equal to 0 here. As you can see, it also disappears in the equation, right? Wait, why is this 5? Let me adjust that. It should be at 10. All right, it's now at 10. All right, so what happens when you reach +10 and when you reach -10? Look at the graph. Look what's happening to it. And look what happens to the parameters here, the value of B. And then you do the same for C. All right? What happens when C is at -10? You might have to adjust this one so that you can see where it is. And then what happens when it is at 0? 0, there's 0. What happens when it is equal to 0? And what happens when it's +10? All right, so make observations on the changes in the graph as well as changes in the coefficients. All right, that's one part of your performance task. And then one other thing that I'd like you to do is to fit a parabola onto this picture. Now, since we know that this parabola opens downward, then we'll have to change the value of A to negative. All right, it has to be negative. All right, there, it's now negative. And then let's bring it down. So the height is too high. Let's change the value here so that it goes down. All right, there. And then let's change the coefficient of B. I mean, coefficient of X. Um, okay, now it's somewhat in the center. We can adjust the height. All right, we need to open this a bit more. So that means we have to move slider A. All right, it's up to you where you wanna stop. When you're contented with the picture, then with the graph, it has to be superimposed on your graph. Now, it may not be exactly a parabola. The picture that you might have gotten might not be exactly a parabola. And so you cannot find a parabola that fits into it exactly. But you can make adjustments here. All right. So you can move this about, and then I don't know, change the opening, see what happens. The idea is to get a good fit. All right. And then once you're satisfied with your equation, once you are satisfied with your equation, let's say this is the equation that you think best fits the figure. You'll have to take note of the equation here. All right. Anyway, that will be taken care of by the picture. So once you're satisfied with the fit of your parabola to the picture, you take a picture of the algebra view. So you're going to take two pictures. The algebra view, which will give you these ones, the parameters, the placeholders, the coefficients of the placeholders, uh, the sliders, A, B, and C, and then the equation of the parabola itself. And then you take a second picture, and that will be this. You take a picture of the Cartesian plane with a picture on it, and the parabola superimposed on that. Now let's see, if you want to fix this so that it doesn't move anymore, um, it's already fixed. So it shouldn't be moving anymore because it's fixed. All right, anyway, you can just take a picture of this, and then all right, you can adjust the size, and then send me those two pictures in the Google form. So one picture for the algebra view and one picture for the graphics view. All right. I'm going to upload the Google form um, later, well, in a short while. And I'll also give you a copy of the instructions, all right? Written instructions. I'll probably upload it in classwork, all right? I'll upload it in classwork as well as the video. I'm recording this, so I'll have a video of this presentation. All right. Let me stop the video.